How's it going, everybody? Shawn Pila here with the Farmstead, and we are bringing to you another mini episode. On today's episode, I'm going to be showing you folks how to climb a coconut tree. So, there's a few things to consider. Number one is permission. You always want to ask permission before climbing a coconut tree. A lot of the trees are on private property. Check with the owners, check with the park manager. So, number one, ask for permission. Number two, make sure there's actually coconuts in the tree. You don't want to do all this work climbing the tree, getting dirty if there's no coconuts or any good coconuts. Number three is check for fire ants. We've got a huge fire ant problem here on the island, so step three, check for fire ants. Unfortunately, the tree that I'm going to be climbing today does have fire ants, but for the sake of the demonstration, I'm going to give it a shot. So I'm not using any tools or apparatus. There's spikes, there's the hunting tree climber, but today we're going to be doing a free climb. So I usually go barefooted. I like to wear a shirt these days just because of the fire ants, and yeah, we'll give it a shot. Two different techniques. I always start with the first technique is the monkey technique. Just like how a monkey would climb a tree. Hands behind the tree. I'm just kind of walking up as if I were a monkey, as high as I can. And then I'll go into the second technique, which is the frog technique. Putting my feet in these little notches of the tree and kind of squatting down, and I'm just really sitting, not using too much effort. And from here, I'll climb the rest of the tree. I like to put a hand here so I don't scratch my tummy too much. All the way up. And what I like to do is I go up, I grab an inner branch. You don't want to grab a low hanging branch because those things will snap off. Grab an inner branch. I like to go onto the crest of the tree. And once I'm up there, you know, I feel pretty secure and safe and rested, and start harvesting the coconuts. Also, coconuts, every moon cycle, it'll produce a new flower which will eventually turn into a new coconut. So coconuts are about a moon cycle in age difference, and we're gonna go for about 6 to 9 months. The coconuts on the lower hanging branches are usually old, and the ones on the top are usually a bit younger. We want about, 9 months is ideal. Anything older than that, the water's not that good, but the meat's really good for eating. So always identify your coconuts, make sure you've got some good ones that you're gonna pick, and be safe. All right, got some coconuts, super stoked. Surprisingly, I didn't even get bit. I do feel a little something right here, but not as bad as I thought it was gonna be. But yeah, a few things I wanted to mention was some trees are super mossy. That one was a little wet towards the top, and it gets slippery and a little harder when you're going into the tree and when you're coming off of the crest. So be mindful of that. Also the height of the tree. If I'm free climbing, I don't want to climb the tallest tree. You know, I'll go for like a medium-sized one, maybe like 30, 40 feet, whatever you're comfortable with. And also, when I go onto the crest of the tree, you never want to grab the bottom branches. Those are the ones that are about to fall off. I always go like 2 to 3 branches in because I know those are strong. Make sure I got a nice grip, and then I can relieve my legs a little. Then I'll pull myself in, readjust myself, and once I'm on the crest, I feel pretty comfortable. And then when you're picking the coconut, You know, the older ones, they're not as fragile, like the poppers or the younger coconuts. If you drop them off of a tree, they'll crack, you'll lose all the water. This one is, I'd say, like the rubber meat. It's like perfect age, I'd say 8 months. It's still able to break it when you drop. So when you're picking a coconut, you're twisting it off of the stalk, and then I like to drop it in a spiral motion and have it hit the tip here. Less chances of the coconut breaking when you drop it like that. So twist it. If they're really old and you know they're not gonna break when they hit the ground, you can just kick them off. Sometimes I'll go up with a rope around my chest and a little saw. I'll go up, I'll tie the rope to the end of the stalk, and I'll lower a whole bunch down. When we're harvesting for market, we'll lower the entire bunch, you know, way easier than picking them individually, but we only needed a few. We just took what we need and stoked. So next, opening a coconut. I like to grab it from the umbilical cord area here, you know, something to work with. A lot of people cut off the top here. I start at the bottom. You want to hit it at the ridge first. Use a sharp machete, and you always cut away from your fingers, and you never want your fingers on here or anywhere near. I always hold on to the umbilical cord, cup it around the back, hit and twist. Work your way all the way around. You want to hit it hard. You want to make sure you don't hit the coconut seed on the inside, because then you're gonna lose some of the water. Just like that. I usually cut off the top here, make it nice and flat, just so you can stand it upright. And then I'll go ahead and clean off all the excess husk. So the seed is inside of the husk. What you see in the supermarket is a really old coconut that has been husked. Those are usually not good for drinking. Just the meat is good. The older they get, the oxygen hits the inside, it carbonates and ferments the water, and that's when you start getting like diarrhea and stomach problems. But at this age, when you shake it, you don't hear any liquid. It's completely full. If you shake a coconut and you hear the water, that means it's too old to drink. If you hear the water, you don't want to drink it, but you can still eat the meat. I exposed the seed here. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut it all the way around. And there you go. Fresh coconut water. And this right here is my favorite age of a coconut. I'd say 6 to 8 months. Nice soft meat. Cheers. Yee. All right, and then when I open it, I usually try to hit it right in the middle here as hard as I can. And then I'll bang it against the ground. That's kind of a bad hit. Let me try this side. There we go. There you go. And this stuff, this is like spoon meat style. You grab one of the old cuttings, you just scrape it out like that. Little natural spoon there. Yee-hee.
Got it? Yo, cheers. Shouts out to Shawn. It's a hot day. It's delicious. Taking some of these home for sure. Yeah, yo. All right.
Julian actually got bit by a fire ant. And
Shawn didn't. That's usually how it works. So.